Imagine my selfish sister tries to come and change the date from my baby shower, all because she wants to plan something on that day, but I've already told her. I've sent out every invitation, I've catered the food, I've got a venue, there's no changing it. Well, you won't believe she wouldn't just accept that like a normal person would. She comes back and tells me this: "My sister is a brat." I know a great way to start a post, but this is important to everything, so I'll have to tell you it all. She's a huge brat and has been a brat since I was a child. This is my parents' fault, which I'll go into later. Right now, my sister being a brat is a problem because I'm getting married. My wedding is in 2 weeks and I'm excited, but there's also a part of me that's dreading it because I don't know what's going to happen. See, at this time, my sister is pregnant, she got married first, which she loved to rub in my face. I don't know why she loved to rub it in my face that she married a guy she knew for about 6 months. The two of them dated for about 5, technically, before the engagement happened. Then a month later, they got married. I wasn't in a hurry to get married. It was important to meet someone I was in love with, and that I was sure I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Why would I want to marry someone I barely knew and then end up in a divorce? This was not my idea of a good life. Everybody was so happy when my sister, when she got pregnant. I don't know why she can't be happy about that. She said she was pregnant first, so if you think about it, she was the one that got one over on me. Let me rewind a bit so I can explain to you how my sister got like this. I was born as the first child to my parents, the oldest daughter. They planned for me and they were happy, it seemed. Then 3 years later, my sister was born. My parents loved her as much as they did me, but it became clear to my sister she had some behavioral problems. I think the problem was that my parents were not sure how to deal with a child that had behavioral issues. My sister was always full of these problems, and she would throw things at me, yell, and just be rude. Mom and Dad never punished her. I wish they would have punished her, but they didn't. No matter what I did, it was always my sister who was right. She could do whatever she wanted to me, basically, and if you think that this did not help out our sisterly bonds, then you're correct. It made me angry with her and not wanting anything to do with my sister. Why would I want to be around someone who kept hurting me? I focused more on school and work, and my sister was a distant thought as I graduated high school, college, and work. While I still kept up a relationship with my parents, the main idea was to keep my distance from my sister. She just brought all the drama. When I met my husband, I was surprised because it was not on my radar to meet someone. But there he was, smiling at me this single dance I went at a local bar. He asked me to dance and then we started a relationship. The two of us dated for a long time. Unlike my sister, I didn't want to rush into marriage with someone. It was important for us to take our time. I can't say that I knew my husband and I were going to be together from the moment we met. At the time, I was just unsure. Once we started dating for several months, almost a year, I started to realize the two of us had something special. My sister met her husband around this time, but my husband and I have been dating for several years. He was going to propose, but hadn't yet. Then my sister married her husband, and now just a year after meeting, and 6 months into their marriage, she's pregnant with their first kid. I couldn't believe it when she told us, but I tried to pretend I was happy. There was no reason to draw her wrath. It all seemed so soon, and I feel like my sister saw that my fiancé and I were just getting very serious, which was why she latched onto the first guy she thought would fall for her charm. It also helped that he had money. I'm not saying my sister is like a gold digger, but if the shoe fits. Now, I'm not going to mince words. She is a gold digger, and is probably only with him for, of course, the money. I don't know if she saw it or not. Maybe he did and didn't care, or she blindsided him with her charm. Honestly, either is possible when it comes to my sister. I truly don't put anything past her. When it comes to my sister, you try to choose your battles, and this was no different. It was about a month after my sister announced her pregnancy that my fiancé proposed to me. Also, I know I've been calling him my husband in this post. I can't help it. I'm very excited for us to be getting married soon. But anyways, my sister reacted pretty bad. Again, I don't know why, because all this attention had been on her. By the time the baby was born, my husband and I would have long since been married. She just could not stand me being the center of attention every few weeks. It's truly mind-boggling. My parents seemed happy for me, but I had a feeling that they were going to start to pull back when they saw how upset my sister was getting. I tried to explain to my parents that I was not trying to steal my sister's thunder, but my fiancé had been planning to propose to me for a while. It's not my fault my sister happened to get pregnant during this time. What am I supposed to do? Postpone my marriage until my sister's baby turns 1? Oh no, then she'll probably say I'm taking away from her kid's first birthday. I know it sounds ridiculous, but this was the point I tried to make. Exactly the point to my parents to get them to see the reason, but they just wouldn't. I mean, come on. When I told my husband what's going on, he was sympathetic. He hugged me and told me that he was sorry my parents were doing this. As well as my sister doing this to me, all I could do was cling to him and get comfort. Look, I know I come off as strong and stubborn, as if my sister's actions don't bother me, but the truth is that they do bother me. I stopped reacting to it long ago, but when it's quiet and I'm alone, I'm reminded of the fact that my sister and I never have a good relationship. She always hated me, but I just wanted a sister. Anyways, I'm not moving into my wedding even if my sister tries to whine. She hasn't said anything yet, but I have this strange feeling that she's planning something. You might want to call me paranoid, but when she's quiet, it's when she's planning something. What do you guys think? Do you think that she's going to take it a step too far and try to cancel my wedding in some way? I'm keeping an eye on the venue and everything to do with the wedding, so my sister can't pretend to be me. It's hard to say if she'll go that far, but my sister is unpredictable when she realizes people are not paying attention to her. Leave all your thoughts and comments below. I'll try my best to read as many as I can. Hopefully when I update, it doesn't have to do with my sister trying to mess up my wedding. It'll all be a happy update, but knowing my sister, she's gonna try something. I know her too well. Comment number 1. OP, I don't blame you for thinking that your sister is going to plan something for the date of your wedding. She has proven this time and time again that something is wrong with her, and she can't stand for you to have attention. On your wedding day, the attention is all on you because it's about you. Yet your sister can't stand to let you have that one day. Beware is the best thing I can say to you. You're already on your guard and know something is going to happen. But I just felt that I should say it to remind you, so stay strong. Don't let your sister ruin your wedding day, at least that you're expecting it. You won't be surprised and you'll be able to counteract whatever she does. Comment number 2. OP, your sister had been crappy to you your entire life, but she's pregnant and dealing with her own life right now. In a matter of months, she's going to have a baby with her husband. What do you think that she's going to do? Ruin everything just to one-up you? I don't think it's fair to you to think that about her. Try to think on the positive side. Your sister might just surprise you. Maybe she wants to go to your wedding too. I just don't think it's fair for you to assume the worst. The best thing that you can do is try to focus on your wedding. Forget your sister because she's probably doing the same with you. Update number 1. Guys, you were right. My sister was going to try something. About 2 days after my original post, I heard from my parents that my sister was going to plan her baby shower around the same time as my wedding. Same day, same time. I looked at the phone in shock and wasn't sure if I was hearing them correctly. After I confirmed what was going to happen, I asked my parents what they were going to do. They started to cry, saying they didn't want their daughters to fight, and the easiest thing for me to do, obviously, is to move the wedding. So my sister can have her baby shower. I brought up the fact that I could not change everything without losing a lot of moolah in the process, and we'd already spent money on the venue, and my parents offered to cover the cost. They do have money, and I knew they would do that for me, but I said no. It's the principle. If I let my parents do this, then it's going to teach my sister that she can do whatever she wants. And I'm not gonna let my sister get what she wants, not anymore. So, I told them I was planning to go through with the wedding. They should calmly explain to my sister that it's easier to change a baby shower date than a wedding date. There's less money involved in my sister's baby shower. Mom and Dad kept saying that she wasn't going to do that at all, and there was no way that she would ever agree to change it. Well, I repeated, I'm not going to change it, and hung up the phone. My parents have been contacting me a lot, trying to get me to change my mind. But as I said, my decision is set in stone. I'm not going to let my sister get away with it. A lot of the family doesn't know how bad my sister can be. My parents have done their best to hide it because they're embarrassed. It's crazy to me that they would be embarrassed when they were the ones who did it in the first place. They made my sister like that. If they had done something to her behavioral problem, maybe something would have gone differently, but it doesn't seem like that in this case. I don't know. Do you guys think that my parents won't come to my wedding? At this point, it's starting to make me think that this is what's going to happen. I want my parents to come to my wedding because they are my parents. But it seems like they're going to choose my sister once again. It's hard to think that I won't have some of my closest family members at my wedding. It's not something I accept easily. But what other choices do I have to do? But to deal with everything as it comes. My wedding is coming up soon, and this is what my focus is going to be on. I'll let you guys know what's going on after the wedding. Please wish me the best, because as happy as I am, I'm also rather nervous because this is a big step my soon-to-be husband and I are taking. Update number 2. Hey guys, it's me, and before we just go and straight up jump into the update, I'll say that I'm a married woman. It makes me smile and almost want to cry tears of happiness when I think about my now husband. The two of us went on a honeymoon and are doing great. But I know why you guys are turning in here. You want to try to figure out what's going on with my sister and her baby shower. First, I'll say that my sister still had the baby shower. My parents went to the baby shower, but they are the only ones who went there. Yes, only my parents went there, and I was almost ready to laugh. When I thought of it, it was good that nobody came there. Most of the family and friends we shared went to my wedding rather than my sister's baby shower. The ones that we did not have in common did not go to my sister's baby shower because they did not agree with my sister having the shower on the day of my wedding. Even her in-laws didn't go. It was a shock when I realized her in-laws refused to go to the shower. I was convinced that they were going to stand by her because of her husband, but they didn't. My brother-in-law and parents were the only ones who went to the baby shower, including my sister, of course. My sister is not a happy camper. I heard this from family and mutual friends who tells me that she's upset that no one came. She can't believe that everybody would betray her just to go to my wedding or avoid her show completely. Yes, my sister is this out of touch, if you're wondering about it. She's not the brightest person in the world, but I don't feel sorry for my sister. She's the one who chose to have the shower on the same day as my wedding. Hell, if she wanted, my sister could have had it on the day after. It would not have been a nice or a fair thing, but I think it would have been easier to deal with. And people might have been more likely to show up to her shower. I'll just leave this update here. If anything else happens with my sister, I'll let you know. Please feel free to leave your comments downstairs. I'll try to read as many as I can. Also, thanks to all of you who wish me well on my wedding. My husband and I appreciate it. He's been supporting me the entire time and wants me to stop being treated by my family like this. I couldn't ask for a better hubby. He's always been there for me since day one. Also, he never liked my family. If you're wondering, he's always had problems with how they treated me. But I was too blind to fully cut them off. This might be what I need, what I have to do one day. My parents and sister do not deserve to have me in their life, but I'll think about this later. Right now, I'm enjoying the fact that I'm married. We're also on our honeymoon right now, so I want to enjoy that. Update number 3. Hey guys, it's only been a week since my last post and my sister is losing her mind. I knew that she was going to do something soon, but it was just a matter of time. She had to let everything that happened sink in before lashing out at me. Now my sister is ready to lash out at me. She says that I'm a terrible, selfish sister who doesn't deserve happiness. I've ruined her entire life and she'll never be able to handle this. She's a huge drama queen, which is something that she's always done since we were kids. As usual, I'm going to ignore her, or what was the plan, until she starts harassing me on social media. As one does, I posted pictures of my wedding venue. Online. The only person who was making negative comments on it was my sister, who kept saying the rudest of things. I responded by posting more pictures of the wedding. The plan was not to post that many, but if my sister wants to be petty, then she's going to have to deal with seeing every picture. This made her go ballistic. She's now trying to report my pictures to Facebook. I'm surprised my parents haven't tried to say how much of a terrible daughter I am. I think they're rallying around my sister, trying to spoil and coddle her as they always do. It stinks that they're doing this, but it is what it is. I'm doing well despite my sister's attempt to make me feel miserable. This time it's going to work. My sister is not going to bring me down to her level, and as I said, I've dealt with this my entire life. She's not a good person and never has been. I wanted a sister, always wanted a sibling, but once we were old enough, I realized it was not going to happen. My parents are the ones who did this to my sister. They raised her to be a spoiled brat, so I don't know why they always act so surprised. Once upon a time, they used to apologize to me about how my sister treated me, but I ignored them. And if they were to apologize to me again, I'd still ignore them. I don't think that they will apologize. My parents are so up my sister's, what? They can't see anything else. They want to make sure they coddle her until the end of time. But I do wonder what's going to happen to my sister when she's gone. She likely won't be able to handle it. There might be another update in a little bit, but I don't know when it's going to happen. I'll hop back on here and let you guys know what's going on. Just leave your thoughts below as always. I appreciate all of you and the good thoughts that you've been sending my way. Again, I don't know when I'm going to update. It might be in a week or it might be in a few weeks. This just depends on what crap my sister happens to pull over the next few days and weeks. When it comes to her, you have no idea. Update number 4. It's been a crazy 2 weeks, guys, right? And my sister's life is imploding before my very eyes. Do I care? Well, I can't. I want to care, but I think it's too late for me to give a hoot about my sister at this point. Everything that's happened to my sister over the past few weeks have been her doing. What happened was that her husband ended up leaving her. Now, I have no idea if this is going to last or if the two of them are breaking up for good. He might be back one day, but right now my brother-in-law has left my sister and is staying with my parents. My mom is also staying with my sister right now because she needs to be there for her during these difficult times. These difficult times happen because of her. She was the one who planned the baby shower for the day of my wedding. Why did she do that if she wasn't prepared for the consequences? Well, I know why my sister did not think that we were going to have any consequences for her actions. Her entire life, my parents made sure that they were not going to be. My sister thought that this would never happen, but people are not like this in the real world. They won't let everything just get away with their bullcrap all the time. And my sister has found this out the hard way, and I just wonder how much her husband had to put up with her behind closed doors. My brother and I, we were not close. But whenever the two of us spoke nicely to each other, whenever we interacted, we were fine. I did try to warn him about my sister once, but he just brushed me off. My parents and my sister explained it to me as being a jealous older sister, which was not the case at all. I was never jealous of her. If anybody was jealous, she was the one who's always been jealous of me, even though my parents were always giving her the attention. It's a bit crazy when you think about it, so this is where my sister's life is at right now. While my life is going great, I'm enjoying the beginning days of my marriage with my husband and the two of us having our lives together. This is going to be the last update I make about this. Sure, I may pop on here to see some comments and respond, but there's no need to post anymore. My parents and sister are not people I'm going to associate with right now. My goal is to focus on my husband